welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got both Sherman and Slothy, and we've got Thunder in the chat. How's everyone doing? Sherman, how you doing?
Still doing good. Still happy for now.
It's very very interesting that we're all wearing the same clothes from last week. It's a new day, new week.
Yeah,
everything's been good. And Slothy, a quick, how are you?
I'm pretty good. This week was much warmer than last week, which was nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Laundry machine stopped working, but
true. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly rip our sponsors. We've got houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99 for a discount. Supports them, supports us. AI Armor for sleeves, AIarmor.com. They're wonderful. Another thank you to everyone on Patreon and everyone who likes and subscribes, shares, subscribes. It really means a lot. The 30 of you that subscribed last week on Patreon. No, it's thank you everyone who comes over and supports. Come chat decks with us and everything. And I want to say thank you again to everyone who's a part of that and builds decks with us and gives feedback on the things we do and stuff. It's just nice to chat. They're really great people supporting us. So thank you for everyone. And with that, let's get into a set I'm not excited for. And Slothy already mentioned something out of the gate, so I'm going to let Slothy take us away with this first card and his thoughts on the art style of the first one, and then we'll go from there. But there's a lot of new cards, so I kind of want to rip into this one. I don't seem to like this set as much as the Commander ones, as a spoiler. But let's see what's up. Bam.
Yeah, the first one that we've got here is Return to the Gear Hulk cycle. We got Bright Glass Gear Hulk, double green, double white for 4/4 artifact creature construct with first strike and trample. When this creature enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact creature and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less, put them into your hand, and then shuffle. The card itself is really, really decent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my lord, I hate the yellow border. It's so gross.
A few things. I want to give a quick fast opinions on this. The card is good. I love the Gear Hulks. They're super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a single version of this I like. The artwork is cool until you have this goofy set symbol that makes it look like someone's proxy project. So that just kind of takes me out of it. Like the little race car flag as it looks like someone's joke set symbol, and to me it's jarring. I just really don't like it on the side of the cards, and I'll save it for the rest of it. I won't say it. Number 2, that's very clearly Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not crazy. That's the obliterate kind of card, everyone keeps making fun of it for being the Goatsy card. It's kind of funny, I think. The Goatsy Gear Hulk. And then, this yellow border is jarringly hideous.
Yeah, it is so ridiculously bad.
I cannot comprehend what they were thinking with this yellow border style. That's Sherman. You got any thoughts on these? You like this Yu-Gi-Oh
I just
card?
want to move on.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, and then we have full art Yu-Gi-Oh. I will take our next one. We have Chandra drawn like a child for some reason. I don't get that one either. Chandra Spark Hunter, 3 and a red for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Beginning combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. +2, you can sack an artifact or discard a card. If you do draw a card, not horrible. 0, you make a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact creature token with crew 1. Okay, and then -7, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control enters, deals 3 damage to any target. The card itself's not horrible, and it is, again, it just doesn't look like Chandra is my issue with this general motorbike artwork version of it. It just kind of doesn't look like a Chandra card, right? It looks, well, again, it's not bad art. It's a cool looking card with the Tron looking wheels and stuff. The abilities are just kind of all over the place though. It's a loot mechanic or a sacrifice mechanic or a token generator, but then it's obviously like the best for treasure token kind of themes with that emblem. Like it's kind of all over the place, you know? It's a little strange, I find. The artworks, again, they're not terrible throughout it and stuff, but I wouldn't be super happy with this card as a mythic personally.
I don't know. I think it should, like, as a mythic, yeah. If this was a rare, it would make more sense.
Pretty cool rare,
But,
yeah.
like, overall, I don't mind the card overall. Truth be told,
Again, it's not a bad card.
Yeah,
and especially like with the prevalence.
Stronger.
What was that? Sorry.
As a mythic, you expect it to be stronger.
Well, and with the prevalence of vehicles, that is pretty cool that it becomes an artifact creature. Like that's a nice ability. Like there's definitely decks that would use this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it just I just find it a little odd and disjointed. The name doesn't really make sense unless you know like the story stuff. And I think it was you guys who explained that in the story to me. That like, because I haven't looked at the lore for this one just yet. But it looks like Chandra's like trying to get like a spark back for Nissa. It's what the Aether Spark is, something like that. So like the name makes sense there, but then none of the abilities really make sense. It just feels odd. The set feels a little odd, is how I want to say for most of it. And again, this yellow artwork is just, I would be not happy with any of these so far. Next card.
The next one we have is Cole Stoke Gearhulk. For 1 double black, double red, artifact creature construct. It's a 5/4. It has menace and death touch. Ew. Good golly. When this creature enters, put target creature card with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, with a finality counter on it. That creature gains menace, death touch, and haste. At the beginning of your next end step, exile that creature. Okay.
Meh.
I like it, but it's I wish that was a repeatable effect.
Yeah, even if you compare it to the Bright Glass one, it's meh.
It's if the creature stayed, if it was a reanimator that got those abilities.
Mm-hmm. Even if it just returned with a finality counter on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to get rid of it at the end of your next end step.
Yeah, it's right. So you're not going to want your own stuff with it generally.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they have like a Pokemon style artwork in a lot of these, and I don't know. It just and then they have a yellow border of both of them, which is crazy to me.
I don't mind the like the stone wall version of it.
Is that the Pokemon art?
The second one there.
Yeah, Pokemon art.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Compared to some of the other alternate art treatments we've got recently.
Mm-hmm.
Meh.
Again, there's nothing wrong with liking these things. Lots of people are gonna love them. I'm just not one of those people. I really like, I might, if I pull any of these cards or get them, I might pay like someone like Emery to just like re-black my borders. You know, like if I can only find these yellow versions, I might. Like they're jarring to me.
Yeah, like if you like the yellow borders, awesome.
Yeah, I don't like the yellow. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I don't like. I really don't like the yellow border for this one. Coastal Gearhulk. I don't mind the artwork they have on the brick here. You know, it's like how they're doing what you call it, like graffiti and whatnot. I don't mind it. So
yeah,
but yeah, the yellow, no.
Yeah.
A big problem I have with this set, just as another precursor, is like the art styles on the next two cards, because they're not bad arts, but they just like they don't fit with a normal Magic card at all. Like again, a lot of this looks like someone's proxy collection, like that you ordered like a cool like custom art, like
Yeah, it looks to me kind of like they've been seeing, like you mentioned, the Pokemon arts and the One Piece art.
Yeah, the fractured foil, though.
And,
look how shiny it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're taking a little bit too much inspiration from it.
Yeah, like again, Magic is still part of a visual game, and like this is this next card, like it's yours for the next one, but like again, it just number one, I find it doesn't fit artwork, and then they just have that like horrendous stamp put on it.
But you got to look at like the other sets, like because most of these that are like the anime inspired ones,
Mhm.
if you look at the prices for them, they're so high and there's such a huge demand for them. Like look at Jumpstart when they had the anime versions of a bunch of them, right?
Mhm.
Like the demand was so high that they're probably like, okay, you know what? Let's keep on going with this. And sure, like they plan these sets out like a year or so ahead of time. So maybe when like if they see a decrease, they can't stop it until
That's
like
fair.
the like a year later, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. With these next two, it doesn't even look like they've got.
Yeah, there's no
basic
other
versions
version.
of them.
Yeah, this is just it. That's what I mean.
I know. But
If you want this card, you have to play what appears to be someone's custom proxy set. That's my issue.
Mhm.
But take it away. We've complained enough of this one.
Yeah. We've got the Curse Cloth Wrappings, 2 double black for an artifact. Zombies you control get +1/+1, and you can tap it to have target creature card in your graveyard gain Embalm until end of turn. The Embalm cost is equal to its mana cost.
It's a great card.
Yeah, it's a good card.
I like that.
Normal zombie anthem, a cool reanimator, but yeah, that I'm not even spending time complaining about the art on the next one. I'm going to complain specifically about this being a mythic. This is a terrible mythic. Explosive Getaway is 3/1 red, 1 white. Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step, and then 4 damage to each creature. That's not good. That's not a good mythic. A 1 blink 4 damage is pretty mid at sorcery speed. Like this takes up, generally speaking, your whole turn to like try kind of board wipe one. There just seems like cheaper routes. Like at the point I want to board wipe and stuff,
Like
I can use like a ghostly flicker at 2 mana and a blasphemous act at 1.
Yeah, or even Ephemerate.
Yep. Yeah, right. Like
and then Wrath of God, and you'll guarantee destroy everything
without regen. Yeah, it's just to me it seems like just a phenomenally weak mythic card. Mm-hmm. Like every part of it, the cost, the sorcery.
It's only going to be really strong if you're doing like limited play or draft or something like that. For Commander, this is not good.
That's a very, very good thing to say as well. Mm-hmm. Other people do play other formats. Other people do play other ways, right? They're like, just because I hate a card doesn't mean it's not going to be like a bomb in standard or something, or really kill it like from like an arena standpoint. Like there's people much smarter people than me who find ways to make cards I think suck into wonderful decks that just like that whoop me. So like just take my opinion with a grain of salt because it's salty.
Yeah. And that's kind of just what this is too, with all the complaining about the set we have done and that we will do.
It's coming.
If you enjoy the set, you enjoy the set, and that's totally fine.
Also, yeah, show me why I'm wrong anytime. Show me, be like, you think that card sucks, but here's a cool deck with it, and I might build it.
We love to be proven wrong.
I love to be wrong so much.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next card here. It's going to be Hazoret Godseeker for 1 and a red. Legendary creature God. It's a 5/3. Indestructible haste. It has start your engine. So, if you have no speed, it starts at 1. It increases once on each of your turns when an opponent loses life, and the max speed is 4. For 1 in attack, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Hazoret can't attack or block unless you have max speed. Once again, probably a limited card like a limited play card. I don't really see this being played much in Commander.
In the command zone, yeah. It's look what they did to my boy.
Start your engines having a 3-turn cycle play to it until you get to max speed. Because like I looked into it, and from what I've found, you can't do kind of like a take your initiative or delve into the dungeon thing.
Yeah, there's no faster.
If you play another card with start your engines and you're at speed 2, it doesn't go up to speed 3. You have to have it around for 3-turn cycles, which is incredibly slow, especially nowadays.
I think once you have the max speed, at least you still have it. But again, having to get to 3 turns to get your 5/3 out, which is probably just going to get blown off the board because everyone can see it coming from a mile away. And then not only does it have to survive, you have to have damaged them on your turn.
Yeah, thankfully it doesn't have to be combat damage.
Yeah.
But what I've found with some of these Start Your Engines cards, the pre-max speed ability generally has to be worth it to run the card at all. And you have to kind of treat the max speed ability as like a bonus.
I'm also not a big...
Again...
Go ahead.
Sorry. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm not a big fan of the set has a big tendency for these really, really low mana creatures with like a high power comparative to it that like have like lots of drawbacks. Like it's I find it's just a strange mechanic.
Like overall, like first off, it's a god, right? So it's going to have some restrictions, even though it's low, like casting costs. It's going to have some stupid, weird restrictions that you have to get around for to like do anything, you know. But you can still use it to crew vehicles. You just can't attack or block with it, right?
Which is a cool way to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like with the Start Your Engines mechanic, you know what? Like once again, right now it's really for a limited set. This is the first time they introduced it. You know, once they come around and bring this for another set, it's probably gonna get better.
The thing is though,
so
it's how, because like at a best, like you said, it'll be into another set, but that means we have another goofy race set.
Maybe.
I don't see where they could do Start Your Engines without it.
Look at energy. Because we were talking about energy last episode and the deck tech before. When energy first came around, that was like how long ago?
Okay. First Color Mesh, I believe.
Yeah, that was like what, 3 years ago?
2016.
2-3 years?
No, almost a decade.
Well, even more. Yeah, and then when was the next time we saw energy?
But that
right.
But that was because people were clamoring for energy. They thought it was an interesting mechanic, and people kept asking. Like it was a specifically, repeatedly asked for mechanic of like, give us something to do with energy. There's so many cool energy cards that just didn't have enough support, so everyone wanted that. But like, I can't see people clamoring for like new Start Your Engines.
But once again, like. We need to give it a chance. We might not like it now, but you can't predict the future for it, right? Sure, we don't. It's a brand new mechanic. They can't pump out like 1,200 cards and be like, here it is. Okay, now it's the Start Your Engines mechanic has, you know, and max speed has so much like, you know, support that you can build really cool decks. They kind of started off and.
I was going to say, like you said, this is clearly for not Commander. These are not really Commander cards. Like, this isn't meant to be in the command zone. And when you look at it that way, it is the first set in a long time that hasn't been just specifically for Commander players, and every other format has to suffer whatever it is anyways. So maybe it'll be cool in like standard stuff.
And that's the thing, like, maybe later on, like it will be really cool for Commander, but like Commander is basically the largest format. But let's look at it this way, okay? Every other set that's come out has basically been catered to Commander. Standard's been suffering, Draft and Limited has been suffering, all these other forms, like stuff like that has been suffering. So, like, Wizards is trying to make it so that, like, people kind of like get excited for like standard play or arena play and all that stuff, right? So, yes, I might not like the mechanic right now, but who knows? Maybe later on it might get better. We don't know. We need to give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. We
That's
just
fair.
need to give it a chance. We can hate it right now, but like we shouldn't hate on it so much. We should give props to the design team for trying something new. If they don't like it, fine. Or like if the crowd doesn't like it, fine. But like you're never gonna if the design team doesn't have room to try new things, Magic's not gonna get better, or you're not gonna get new mechanics. It's just you're just gonna repeat the same things again and again and again, and you're never gonna get anything new. You gotta give them a chance. Okay, sometimes it succeeds, sometimes it fails, but you still gotta give them a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be cool in the future, like you're saying, and once again, it is definitely not a mechanic that is for us necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't like playing Survivor for 3 turns just to be able to attack with my 5/3.
Yeah.
But we haven't really played with the mechanic yet. This is all speculation until we play with the mechanic.
But that's the thing.
Right?
I don't like, because I don't have to play with Hazard in the command zone to understand it's not good in the command zone.
No, but I'm saying like for the mechanic, like I said, like I've looked at other people's like take on Samut, which you will see later on. And you know what? Samut's really good.
That's fair.
And it has the start your engines mechanic in it with max speed.
Well, let's get to it. We're hating too much right now.
Yeah, you're hating way too much for just seeing this like the one time right now, right? We have to keep on going.
All right, who's next?
At the end, if you guys hate on it a lot and you say that, okay, fine, I understand. But I'm saying right now, you guys are going way too hard for no reason.
I know, too much time on Hazard though. Who's next on the? Is it me or Slothy?
I believe it is me.
All right, you take our boy.
Yeah, the next one we've got here is Ketramos, the New Dawn. 1 white and a black for a 4/4 legendary creature god with menace, lifelink, and indestructible. Ketramos can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life.
It's okay.
Interesting, but yeah.
The loot is the loot's an interesting one. Number one, I understand why they have to, like, you can't print Ancestral Recall onto a tap ability, but I wish there was just like something better. Had they like made it more costly? So we've got Loot the Pathfinder. It's 2/1 green, 1 blue, 1 red for 2/4 Beast Noble, double strike, vigilance, haste, and then it has these 3 abilities. So exhaust, you can pay 1 green, add 3 mana of any one color, 1 blue, draw 3 cards, or 1 red, deal 3 damage to any target. Those are all good, especially to come out. Like if you have like 6 mana, you're essentially only really needing to pay 3 of that 6 for loot. So it gives you a bit of an explosive turn, being able to exhaust immediately with that 3, or refills your hand. But again, you have to deliberately kill or blink your commander. You have to build into that direct path to use these abilities.
Yeah, kind of how I feel about loot is how I felt about Gandalf the Grey.
Fair.
From the Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah, where it was like cool, but again, you have to build into like the like blink it in and out. It's otherwise it's a dead 2/4.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
It's me next? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have March of the World Ooze for 3 triple green. It's an enchantment. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6 and are oozes. Interesting. In addition to their other types. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. Heh.
I like this card.
This seems
I want a
interesting.
3/3 token of whatever that little guy in the front is.
Yeah, right.
He's kind of cool.
It's I do like this card. I've got nothing. I love ooze cards in general, so.
Speaking of ooze cards, we've got Mimeoplasm Revered One, X black green blue for 0/0 legendary creature ooze. As Mimeoplasm enters, exile up to X target creature cards from your graveyard. It enters with 3+1/+1 counters on it for each creature card exiled this way. And you can pay 2 to have Mimeoplasm become a copy of target creature exiled with it, except it's 0/0 and has this ability.
Yeah.
I dig this one.
It's very cool. It's it's rough that you lose access to all of those once they lose it, but I do think it's a Mimeoplasm like upgrade.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put this card on the screen, full screen. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not saying anything. That's it. I'll go to the next card. That's I won't say anything about the other artwork. We have Mu Yanling, Wind Rider, 2 double blue for a 2/4 human wizard pilot. So this is another desparked planeswalker legendary creature. When this creature enters, you create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact creature token with crew 1. Vehicles you control have flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
I like that.
It's not bad, but again, I wouldn't run it in the command zone. It's mono blue vehicle fly. It's just not the card for me. That's okay.
I would run this in the command zone. Like you don't have to have an art. Like you just need creatures flying to deal damage to draw a card.
Yeah.
If you want to play that way, you don't have to have vehicles.
You make this Thopters.
True.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn here. Oh, I get the Gear Hulk. Oil Deep Gear Hulk. Double blue, double black. Artifact creature construct. 4/4. Lifelink. Ward 1. Seriously? Ease off on the ward. When this creature enters, look at target player's hand. You may choose a card from it. If you do, that player discards that card, then draws a card.
Meh.
It's all right.
It's
this Gear Hulk cycle isn't hyping me up like the previous.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork on it is very cool and stuff. Like it's Bioshock looking artwork. It's cool.
Mm.
But I just really liked the Torrential Gear Hulk, Noxious Gear Hulk. I really liked those ones. So
yeah.
Um,
Once again, I think this is more geared for like limited play, like draft and whatnot.
True. Very cool arts on them, yeah.
Yeah. This next one is actually pretty decent. I got Powerwood Gear Hulk, 2 double red, double green for a 7/7 artifact creature construct, Vigilance and Menace. When this creature enters, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Menace until end of turn. And damage can't be prevented this turn.
I think this is the best of them.
Comparing this to having a target opponent discard something and then giving them a card, not bad.
I think it's the best of them so far. It's I don't mind this like artwork of these like Gear Hulks, like the normal artworks of the Gear Hulks. I don't mind. The next one we have here is it's the chase card of the set. It's what people are buying packs for, obviously. Radiant Lotus is a 6 mana mythic. It's an artifact. You tap, sack 1 or more artifacts, choose a player. Target player adds 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacked this way. And so again, you can turn your treasures into Black Lotus tokens. Well, very powerful, obviously.
Give it to other people, which is nice.
Yeah, you can group hug it. Like it's there's a lot of a lot of group hug decks, I would run something like this, but I expect it's going to be a very expensive card. Just again, dude, if they stamp Lotus on the name, then it generally has like a price tag attached to it.
As of right now, the basic version is going for $30.
See, like that's
that'll probably drop because it's pre-release weekend.
Maybe it's the again, these like I can see like the Pokemon looking arts. They'll be shiny, they'll be fancy, people will like them, but that is a strong ability, right? Like again, think how strong it is in your deck, like your Talked Marnius, right? Think how strong it is to turn all of your clues into now 3 mana each.
Oh, 100%. It's a very, very cool card.
Because Marnius has a mana sink on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you could just throw all of them away. Is Marnius's mana sink 3 or 4 or 2?
For what?
Marnius is it's 6.
6.
It's 6.
So but again, you turn every one of your clues into a, like you're drawing essentially for free and like converting them 2-to-1 to soldiers. Or does it make 2 soldiers?
It makes 2 soldiers.
It makes 2/2 Astartes warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're converting it pretty strong over and stuff. There's again in the food deck from like the Lord of the Rings, in any of those mechanics, any decks running the Thopter decks, like there's going to be a lot of decks that really benefit from this card. It's not one I think I'm going to pick up.
What was the commander that has mana burn again?
In Yurlok, yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. It would be fun in Yurlok too. I have a Vizri deck as well, which is about giving other people treasures. And you make that many treasures that you give other people and stuff. So like it'd be cool in Vizri too. Like there's definitely uses for it, but I just think personally it's not one I'm gonna pick up. I'm not enjoying the intentionally pushed cards. And there's no way to say that this isn't pushed like that, right? Like turning treasures, one of the most like prevalent mechanics in Magic right now, into Black Lotus is pretty. It's pushing the limits.
Mm-hmm. The Pokemon border version of this is $210 right now.
Yep, it's they're going to be like that again, which is I will say, no matter how much I'm hating, and trust me, it's a lot. It is nice when new sets have a card that's worth, like, that has some value and stuff, right? Like even being able to crack Edgar's in the recent Innistrad, Edgar's, Avacyn's, that does feel nice to be able to actually get these valuable cards and stuff. We've had a lot of sets where, it's like a $10 ceiling on cards, and that doesn't feel as wonderful to crack. So for people who are building a collection, people who love to crack packs, if you're drafting even passively, the chance you might get like a $200 or $300 version of a card in non-foil, that's exciting for players. Players do like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm. And this obviously isn't like broken like a Jeweled Lotus and stuff like that. Like, it's strong. But again, a 6 mana card generally should be strong. And this is a 6 mana and a sack. I would say it's one of the better cards in the set from anything I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. All right. Let's move on here. We got a Riptide Gearhulk for 1 double white, double blue. Artifact creature construct. It's a 2/5. It has double strike with prowess. When this creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls into its owner's library, third from the top.
I do like that.
This one is really solid.
Yeah, I think this is now the best Gearhulk of these ones.
Yeah,
I still like the first one more.
That's fair.
Put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls, third from the top.
It's annoying. It's annoying to have to dig for it.
It's weird how all over the place these Gearhulks feel in terms of like power level.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that was kind of a thing with the originals as well, but
this one, I feel this is a strong ability. It's gonna be very good in Blink style decks, and it's the perfect color for your Blink style decks, for your Rune of the Hidden Realms, your Bragos.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's definitely a lot of playability with this card, which is nice.
100%.
The artwork on this is so silly.
On this next one?
Yeah, take it away. Take it away. That's really funny.
We've got Sab Sunen, Luxa Embodied. 3, a green and a blue for a 6/6 legendary creature god with reach, trample, and indestructible. Sab Sunen can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it, with 0 being even. And at the beginning of your first main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on Sab Sunen. Then if it has an odd number of counters, draw 2 cards.
It's not terrible. I kind of like this. It's a little silly.
Yeah, I don't mind this one at all.
It's I could see some fun stuff. It's nice that you're either getting your draw or getting your attack or block, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very easy to manipulate that so that you add your extra 1, you're always getting your 2 draw, and then you later on add a counter so it can attack. And a 6/6 reach, trample, indestructible at 5 mana is nothing there's nothing bad. It's pretty good. And it's silly artwork. In foil, it would look cool. Hi, taking a picture of it because I might build that one. We have Salvation Engine, 4 and a white for a 6/10 vehicle. Other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. Good anthem. When this vehicle attacks, return up to 1 target artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield with Crew 6. It's a pretty solid. I don't think there's many bad things about that one. It's a solid vehicle.
Yeah.
Crew 6 is a lot.
Crew 6 is a lot, but a 6/10 reanimator is pretty good. But Crew 6 is a heavy cost. You are right.
Mm-hmm.
Man. All right. Where's the next one? Okay, here we go. We have a spectacular pile up for 3 double white. It's a sorcery. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructibility until end of turn. Then destroy all creatures and vehicles and has cycle of 2.
Decent.
Huh.
Yeah.
The fact that it removes indestructibility, I really, really, really like this.
Yeah. That's a very, very good one. Very good anti-Avacyn tech.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I find it odd that there's no other versions of it, no normal one. You get what you get.
Moving on here, we have the Aether Spark. 4 mana, 4 loyalty, legendary artifact planeswalker equipment. Just throw all the words on there. As long as the Aether Spark is attached to a creature, the Aether Spark can't be attacked and has whenever equipped creature deals combat damage during your turn, you may put that many loyalty counters on the Aether Spark. -1, you can attach the Aether Spark to up to 1 target creature you control. Put a +1 counter on it. Oh, +1. Yeah. Ah, man, I can't wait for my new glasses to come in.
That's fair.
The -5 is draw 2 cards. And -10, add 10 mana of any 1 color.
It's nichely okay.
I see your Aether Spark and raise you a Vandal Blast.
That's funny. Yeah, Planeswalker art that can die to artifact removal is interesting. It's again, this is also the serialized one of the set. I think they're moving to only 1 card serialized now. I think that's the new plan.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, again, this one's not specifically a card for me, but in an equipment themed deck, being able to do that damage, like hit somebody or hit something, and deals combat damage during your turn, doesn't even have to connect to a player, right? You just hit a creature, get 10 counters on it, and then -10. That's going to dump a ton of equipment out of your hand. That's going to pay a lot of equip costs.
That'll pay for your Colossus Hammer.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's fairly strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some good things about it. We have the last ride. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just one more thing. I do like when they do funky things like this with Planeswalkers, kind of like how they did with Grist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to play around with this one because I do quite enjoy equipment decks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was all.
Yep. We have The Last Ride. 1 black for a 13/13 legendary artifact vehicle. Gets -X/-X, where X is your life total. 2 and a black, pay 2 life, draw a card, and has crew 2. It's again, this is specifically not really one for Commander. But
Yeah, this is kind of like a Death Shadow sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a Nethroid card, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would still play with it, to be honest.
Again, it doesn't just raw die when you cast it, which is kind of nice. Like it's a pay 2 life engine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is a draw engine. Sure, you have to pay a lot for it, but it's a 1 mana for an artifact that like it has the possibility of be better later on. Hopefully, later on in the game.
Well, again, just even having that mana sink of pay 2 life, draw a card, 2 life's nothing in Commander. So dropping that early is pretty decent.
This one I do like the alternate art for.
Like which one?
The second one there.
That's fair.
With the pinks and the blues.
Yeah.
All right. We got the Speed Demon for 3 double black. Legendary creature demon. It's a 5/5. Has flying, has trampling, has start your engines. At the beginning of your end step, you draw X cards and lose X life where X is your speed. That's not bad at all.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's definitely significantly. Yeah, well, yeah, minimum of 1, probable 2 at the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
If you attack the turn you put it out. This one's not bad.
But like, if you get max speed, you're drawing 4 cards and you lose 4 life.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. Hopefully you have infinite hand size. Or no max hand size.
It's pretty silly art.
I also really like the second version of this one. It's very will it be American traditional?
Yeah.
Style.
Reminds me of Pogs. I'm old, but Pogs, yes. Reminds me of them. It's kind of cool.
Remember when they had to ban them in school because the school board is like, oh, that it's like a form of gambling. Like,
oh, I was gambling with those for sure.
Oh, 100%. I guess it's me next, isn't it? We've got Thunderous Velocipede. 1 double green for a 5/5 vehicle with trample. Each other vehicle and creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if its mana value is 4 or less. Otherwise, it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it.
Yeah,
this one's pretty solid, yeah.
Just the vehicle of it?
Yeah.
Well, it's like each other vehicle and creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1, which is already really good. So it's like a hardened scales. But if its mana value is 4 or less, otherwise, so like if it's like greater than like 5 or 6, whatever, otherwise it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah, that makes things pretty big.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
you're making my big thing bigger, sure.
Yeah. No complaints about this one.
We have Valor's Flagship. 4 triple white. Legendary artifact vehicle. Flying, first strike, lifelink, 7/7, crew 3. Cycling with X and 2 and a white. When you cycle it, you create X/1/1 colorless pilot creature tokens. With this token, saddles, mounts, and cruise vehicles as though its power was 2 greater. So it does for 3.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I think most times you're generally gonna cycle it away.
The artwork reminds me of the ship from Samus's ship from Metroid.
True. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if I would play with this though. It's really hard to say. But I agree with you. You'll probably cycle this more often than actually cast it though. For 7 mana, yeah. I don't know how
like...
to pronounce this one. Atchik
Just
Emerald Radiant.
You could call it generic recycled insect commander. It does the exact same thing as like 3 others.
Yeah.
Emoti too.
Like, might as well be like an Azoni Emerald Radiant at this point in time. Gee.
You got, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So 3 double black and a green. Legendary creature insect druid. It's a 3/3. When it enters, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each artifact and or creature card in your graveyard. When another insect you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, that last ability is the strong part. The first one no one cares about.
Yep. I will say, I've hated the artwork of nearly everything in this set, but this second artwork goes pretty hard.
It very much does.
This second artwork goes pretty hard. I would get a playmat out of that. That's pretty sick.
Next up, we've got the Afterburner Expert. 2 and a green for a 4/2 Goblin Artificer. It's got Exhaust for 2 double green. You can put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. And whenever you activate an Exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It, once again, feels more of a limited card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be running enough. There physically aren't enough Exhaust mechanics to build.
Well, again, if you've got 4 of them,
real deck around it.
Right? Like if you have 4 of them, then it becomes like a 6/6, and it becomes a 6/6. I bring the ones that you killed back.
Yeah.
Bring 3 of them back. That would be problematic in those formats.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Gonosaur Rex, 3 double green for an 8/8 trampling dinosaur, which is that's not reasonable stats to put even as a vanilla. Give it no other cards, and 8/8 at 5 is pushed. But it has cycling for 2 and a green, and when you cycle it, you put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature or vehicle. It gains trample and indestructible until end of turn.
I love the cycling ability on this card.
It's I don't know. It's very strong.
It is very strong.
A raw 8/8 at 5 with trample is very big. That's a pushed card. And again, that cycle ability is great. The draw, the 2 counters, the save a creature thing. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they do a purple background and then the yellow one? Why didn't they?
They've done that for all of them.
One?
They know people aren't going to like the yellow one, so they're doing a different one as well.
No. If you scroll up, they've done it for all of them. Most of them have a purple and a yellow.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like, why are they doing the purple ones though? Why don't no one likes the yellow one, granted, but why do that? Why bother? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why there's
18 versions of each card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like the weird artwork for it with the bugged out eyes.
Again, the like these cool old looking Pog arts are like, they're not as bad as like the mythics. Like they're pretty funny, a lot of them. I would get this as like a patch for a jacket. It would be funny.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy the flavor text of the one and only Velocity Raptor. It's pretty funny.
There you go. All right. Yeah, because if you look at its feet are its wheels at the same time.
That's
yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many times you see the feet?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the wheel. It's like the wheel.
True.
That's hilarious. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really is a Velocity Raptor. All right, moving on. We have Basri, Tomorrow's Champion, for a single white legendary creature, Human Knight, 2/1. You tap a white and tap it. Exert Basri. Create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink, and it also has cycle for 2 and a white. When you cycle this card, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Huh. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. It's
not good. I don't feel good. The Basri cards are all so cool, and then I feel like this one is not.
I can see this one in a 99 of like that new Arabo from Foundations.
Mm-hmm. Lots of cool cat decks. Like Kalen's got like 2 or 3 cat decks, right? Like Kalen has Jetmir cats, right? It'd be okay there. Again, if it was not Exert, but again, 2 turns every turn you want to make a cat. Like you played Bazra, you make a cat, you wait a turn, you make a cat, you wait a turn. So to get like 3 cats out of it, you're 6 turns deep into the game for 3/1/1s.
Yeah. Like, sure, you can do stupid things like put in Solemnity, but like, once again, that's just one card. You need a bunch of things that said don't put tokens on or whatever, right?
I guess there's also like any of the things that you untap it yourself.
Yeah.
But it's, again, it's a lot of hoops to jump through for 1/1 cats that you still have to pay mana to make.
I feel like I'd even like this card more if it had Vigilance.
That's fair.
So you could at least attack with it and then create a token. But
let's just move on.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Bleachbone Verge. It is a land. You can tap it for black. You can tap it for white, but you can only activate if you control a plains or a swamp.
I do love the artworks on these.
Mm-hmm.
These are pretty cool where it looks like he's like seeing through time to a different spot. Like
he's looking through to Thunder Junction.
Is that Thunder Junction in each of them?
I don't know.
To me, it just looks like he's like looking through to different, like, I don't know if it's different planes, but it seems to fit with it. So it looks like he's looking through time almost. I don't know enough about Loot. I don't like it as a character.
Yeah.
We have Bloodghast as our next one. The second art's really silly. That's pretty funny. This baby runs on unleaded O negative. That's a funny flavor text for all these. There is humor, at least in those. Double black vampire spirit. Can't block. Has haste as long as an opponent has 10 or less life, and landfall. Whenever a land enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Really good in
it's playable. Yeah. Yeah, it's at least a playable one. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next one we have here is going to be Boommobile for 2 double red artifact vehicle. It's a 5/5. When this vehicle enters, add 4 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. It has exhaust for X2 and a red. This vehicle deals X damage to any target. Put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. It has a crew of 2. I was excited until I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to jump through to make it work.
Yeah.
It has a lot of abilities, but all of them are just like,
Mm-mm. Next up, we've got the Bulwark Ox. 1 and a white for a 2/2 Ox mount. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And you can sacrifice this creature to have creatures you control with counters on them, gaining hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And it has a saddle for 1.
That's playable.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
I liked the mounts more. Vehicles that just kind of can always attack and then get an extra effect.
Yeah. That's
go ahead.
That's kind of how I feel about max speed.
Yeah. It's okay. Like I said, it's nice. It's a counter generator. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible is a great ability in a lot of decks. The fever dream that is the second artwork of it is insane. Like, that's pretty crazy. Yep. We have Burnout Bastronaut. It's funny. 1 red for a 1/1 Goblin Warrior. Start your engines. Pay 2. This creature gets 1/0 till end of turn. Max speed. It has double strike.
Yeah. Once again, it's a 1 mana 1/1 with menace, so like it's gonna help you get that damage in. But
that's true.
Other than that, once again, limited play.
Yep.
Ooh. This next card, I do want to actually build this quite a bit. So it's Captain Howler, Sea Scourge for 2 and a blue and a red. Legendary creature, Shark Pirate. Because it's a shark. It's a 5/4. It has Ward 2, pay 2 life, which is annoying, so it's going to be hard to get rid of. Whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. For each card discarded, that's going to be a lot. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card.
Yeah.
This card seems like so much fun.
I've already built this one. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
It turns like even just like an ornithopter into a potentially problematic card.
Yeah.
I discard. I windfall. You're getting my 14/2 ornithopter in the face.
Yeah, or even Faithless Looting.
Mm-hmm.
Draw 2 cards, give another creature you control +4/+0.
Mm-hmm.
Or even more fun, Mind Bomb for a single blue. Each person takes 3 damage. You can prevent 1 damage by discarding a card. So you can discard up to 3 cards to prevent 3 damage. Everybody does this.
Pretty silly. It's very entertaining artwork. I will say that this is pretty silly.
Wheels go hard in this deck.
Yeah.
It's a shark pirate. It's just fun.
I like it.
Whose turn is it?
Is it you or me? That's Slothy.
Yes. Sorry, I was just looking at something for Howler. Next up, we've got Caradora, part of Alakria. Maybe. 2 green and a white for a 4/2 legendary human knight. When Caradora enters, you may search the library for a mount or vehicle card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature or vehicle you control, put that many +1/+1/+1 counters on it instead.
It's all right. Hardened scales for a vehicle or mount deck.
Yeah.
We have Count on Luck. Triple red. Beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. It's not a horrible enchantment.
Not bad. I'd play it.
Yeah. It's again, it's playable. It's essentially an extra like pseudo draw on your turn. It's okay.
Yeah. For 3 mana. Yeah. Why not? We got the Crypt Color Chariot for 3 and a black. Artifact, vehicle, 5/5, menace. When you discard 1 or more cards, create that many tap 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with a crew of 2. Yo, this is what I'm talking about.
Solid.
Yeah.
Definitely solid. And again, not something you need to even have like crude to have it happen. It's a solid discard card.
And the zombies you make can crew it later on, so why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing to mention, those cards that were in the Mythic slot that did not have an original version,
Do they have them down here?
they have them in the rare slot. So
is that what this is? The Curse Cloth Wrappings?
Yeah, Curse Cloth Wrappings. So I'll just skip over that one.
I rescind my hate.
Yeah, the special versions are just at Mythic and the regulars at Rare.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
Okay,
next up
cool.
we've got They're Ready, Rocketeer Engineer. 4 and a red for a star 5 legendary Goblin Artificer. Power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control, and whenever Duretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact, and if you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield. Stacking a treasure to bring back my Triplicate Titan is kind of crazy.
That's fair. I can respect that at least. We have the Debris Beetle. 2/1. The Debreedle. 2 black green. 6/6 vehicle trample. When it enters, each opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. Crew 2. Yeah, it's all right. Nothing special. The artwork.
That's hilarious artwork.
Yeah. Yeah, the beetle just rolling up a big ball as it goes is entertaining.
It's weird what cards they decided to have 3 versions for and which ones they decided to have 4 versions for.
Yep. There's not.
It really seems like Burnout Bastronaut should not have more versions than like Howler or Duretti.
Yeah. Sherman.
All right. We got a Demonic Junker for 6 and a black. Ugh. Artifact vehicle 4/3. Affinity for artifacts. Okay, not so bad. When this vehicle enters, for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls. Yay! If a creature you control was destroyed this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on this vehicle. Screw 2. You know what? I don't mind this one, actually.
It's not horrible with the affinity, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it didn't have affinities, it would suck.
Are you looking at the art for the next one?
I am, yeah. That's really funny.
Yeah. Next one is District Mascot. Single green for 0/0 dog mount. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Also, that dog looks real small. I don't know if you should be saddling that. 1 and a green. Remove 2 +1/+1 counters from this creature. Destroy target artifact. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on it and saddle 1.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
We have the Draconautics Engineer. 1 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Artificer with exhaust. Other creatures you control, 1 red for the exhaust. Other creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. 1/1 counter on this creature. And another exhaust ability of 3 and a red. Create a 4/4 red dinosaur dragon creature token with flying. That's not a horrible one as far as the exhaust ones go. It's okay. It's a token generator and a haste enabler. It's pretty all right. There's a lot of decks that can pump in something like a Krenko deck, for instance, right? Having Krenko tap for 40 goblins and then paying 1 to give him a haste enabler on a goblin. Oh, not horrible.
Goro does this for a single red, but can do it more than once.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But Goro's no goblin.
Goro is a goblin.
Well, then I'm wrong. That's fair. It's again, it's okay. The flavor text entertaining. Right. Gentle goblins start your dragons, pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Explosive Getaway. Oh wait, did we already do that? Yeah, we already did that.
Moving on. That's the other artwork. Yeah.
Far Fortune End Boss for 2 and a black and a red. Legendary creature, human mercenary, 4/5. Start your engines again. When you attack, Far Fortune deals 1 damage to each opponent. Alright. Max speed. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. You have to get to max speed to do that? Boo.
This max speed card I really don't mind. Because you're guaranteeing every turn you're going to be pinging everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a bonus if you've got
if you get to it eventually, but I don't know.
It's still but comparatively.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Fearless Swashbuckler. 1 blue and a red for a 3/3 fish pirate with haste. Vehicles you control have haste. Whenever you attack, if a pirate and a vehicle attacked this combat, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Party on the poop deck.
It leaves stuff to be desired for effect.
Mm-hmm.
We have Full Throttle. Yeah. It is 4 double red. After this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. That's strong. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attacked. That's pretty okay. That's a 6 mana double combat. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that.
Right, we got Gas Guzzler for a single black. Creature, vampire, rogue, 2/1. Now start your engines. This creature enters tapped. Max speed for a single black, sacrifice another creature or vehicle, draw a card.
This one, I don't think you should play this unless you've already got max speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too glass cannon, too weak.
Yeah, this one is not going to last 3 turns around the table, especially with seeing what it does when you get there.
Yeah, the draw engine. Yeah. And also, it's not going to trigger your max speed stuff. People are just going to kill it. It's 1-1 or 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Gastel Thrill Roller. 2 and a red for a 4/2 vehicle. Trample and haste. When this vehicle enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. It has crew 2, and you can also pay 2 and a red to discard a card. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery.
Nothing I'm too excited about there.
Yeah.
Once again, limited card.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new Gonti, and this second artwork goes hard. Again, there's a few of these that just inordinately are aggressively good arts. We have Gonti, Night Minister. 2 double black for a 3/4 Aetherborn Rogue. Whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. I like that. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's library and exiles it face down. They may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. I like this one. This is a cool card.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets to play everyone's kind of deck, like mono black chaos is pretty fun. Really, really funny to betray people deals wise with a Wishclaw Talisman. You tutor to the top and then.
Remember, we can double those counters on the Wishclaw if we use the one card from before.
I could see myself building this Gonti. I like this.
Yeah.
It appears Gonti has the Aether Spark.
Yeah, well, he's the one that's like watching over everything, right? He's the new ruler of wherever the new place we renamed it to. I can't remember.
Aetherdrift,
yeah.
Thank you. So, all right, we got the next card here. Guardian Sunmare for 3 double white creature, horse, mount, 5/5, worth 2. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, search your library for a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less, put it on the battlefield and shuffle. Are you kidding me? It has saddle of 4.
Pretty great.
It's not bad.
I know Tanner lives the Air Horse 1 deck, so definitely an upgrade for that one, the Crested Sunmare. It's a cool card.
Look at the second artwork.
I like all these crystal methed out arts.
Next up, we've got Owl Squad Heavy. 2 and a red for a 2/3 Goblin Mercenary with Start Your Engines. Other goblins you control have haste, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That token attacks this turn if able. And max speed, you can tap it to add red for each goblin you control.
Decent, but it's not going to stay around. People aren't going to let you get to that ability.
Yeah. This is another one I think you want to be at max speed before you play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But even then, this is still a good card overall. Like, other goblins control have haste.
And creates goblins, yeah. It's still solid.
Like, the max speed is just a bonus at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. We have Kolodin Triumph Caster. 1 red, 1 white for a 2/3 human pilot. Mounts and vehicles you control have haste. When a mount you control enters, it becomes saddled until end of turn. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn.
It makes me sad that this guy being a pilot doesn't have, he can crew vehicles.
Yeah,
so his power over 2 greater.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a personal thing. I think that this card is
interesting. Cool. Yeah, it's nice that you can aggro a little bit with them.
Mm-hmm.
Sherman?
Daniel?
I just read Kolodin.
Is it? Oh, yeah. What? Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. Lifecraft Engine for 3 mana, artifact vehicle, 4/4. As this vehicle enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to their other types. Each creature you control of the chosen type Other than this vehicle, get +1/+1, and that's crew of 3. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's an anthem.
It's okay.
We've got Lumbering World Wagon, 2 and a green for a Star 4 vehicle. This vehicle's power is equal to the number of lands you control. And whenever this vehicle enters or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. And it has crew for 4.
Cool ability.
Yeah.
It's very good for Kona, like who I already want to have tapped.
Mm-hmm.
So, solid. Market Back Walker XX 0/0. It enters with X11 counters on it. Pay 4. Put a 1/1 count or put a 1/1 counter on this creature. When it dies, draw a card for each 1/1 counter on it. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
So it's like
again a cool loop, like with like some of the same as like the other like undying loops that you use with like the what's the card that you kill people with? The other 0/0, you remove a 1/1 counter, deal damage.
Walking Ballista?
Yeah, Walking Ballista. Exactly, yeah. But again, similar loops kind of thing if you use it that way. I like it.
Right. We have a Mendicant Core?
Sure.
Guild Light for a white and a blue. Legendary artifact creature robot. It's a star and a 3. So its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Alright. Start your engines. Max speed for this one. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 1. If you do, copy it.
I hate the max speed mechanic, but that's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta work for it. Come on.
You gotta work for it, but there's a lot of artifacts I would love to have a second copy of for 1 mana.
2 copies of Soul Ring.
2 copies of Howling Mine.
Yeah, I do like a good Howling Mine. I might build Bumblebee. Because that's what it looks like. It's Bumblebee from Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, really like how the second, like the full art looks on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Borderlands a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
As well as that movie Robots.
I could see this being a fun one.
Yeah.
I would build this one. I would totally do that. Seems fun.
Next up here, we've got the Mind Spring Merfolk. Single blue for a 1/1 Merfolk Wizard with Exhaust for X double blue. You can tap it, draw X cards, and put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk creature you control.
That's decent. Merfolks are still played.
Yeah.
Suck My Seaweed is funny.
This is one
flavor text.
Let's not say that on air.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong. It's a game for children. It was designed. It's on the card. It's printed there. It's no curse words.
Okay, so the flavor text says the invasion realm.
That's funny.
You know what? Like,
oh no.
No, it's actually, yeah, it's gonna be you. But I just want to say, like, with Merfolk here, like, this one is like one of them where if it's Exhaust, like they should, like, I don't know how I feel about this one, like, because like once again it's like a blink shenanigans, like for 1 mana. They should have made this like higher mana cost instead of just 1.
So you could use it.
I know it's easy to get rid of, but it should have been like at least a 3 or a 4 mana cost.
Yeah. We have a Monument to Endurance, 3 mana artifact. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure. Each opponent loses 3 life. A very playable card. Especially for like your cycling decks. Sorry, I'm coughing so much today. I'm dying. Gotta try get some of these out, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have a land here. We're again the Raceway. It's start your engines on it. tap to add a colorless, and if you have max speed, you tap it to add 2. Wow, wow.
I'd be unhappy with this.
This one's on a land. That's harder to deal with, but yeah.
If you get a turn 1 and you start your engines right away, okay, great. But like, it's still, I don't care for it.
Play the Tron lands, you can get the same effect in 3 turns.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Ovia, Automech Artisan. 3 and a green for a 1/2 legendary human artificer. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. And you can pay a green and tap to put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Oh my.
It's kind of cool.
I like this.
I really enjoy this. I'm going to be building this one right away.
Just Elvish Piper that gives trample.
Yeah.
Solid. We have Perilous Snare. 2 and a white. Start your engines. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Max speed, tap, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle. Activate only as a sorcery. I think this is pretty weak.
Perilous Snare is what Lars Ulrich had during the St. Anger album.
True. Perilous Snare, Perilous Writing.
All right. We have a Possession Engine for 3 double blue artifact vehicle 5/5. When this vehicle enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle and has a crew of 3. 5 mana to steal someone, not bad, but it's still the shark.
The shark tied up on the back of it's hilarious. Take it for a spin. That's not a request. Fun flavor text.
Yeah.
This is kind of brutal if you steal someone's commander. And it's like, oh, like you literally have to use removal because I can't attack or block with it.
That is fun. I would take commanders with it. You're crewing my vehicle.
We have Tevish Zod at home.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Next up, we've got Quag Feast. 1 and a black for a sorcery. Choose target creature, planeswalker, or vehicle. Mill 2 cards and destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard.
Wow. Talk about gambling.
Yeah.
I like this one, but once again, because I play a lot of graveyard stuff and self-mill stuff.
Yeah. We have Redshift Rocketeer Chief. 1 red, 1 green, 2/3 Goblin Pilot. With Vigilance, tap, add X mana of any one color where X is its power. Spend only to activate abilities, and then exhaust 10, 1 red, 1 green. Put any number of permanents from your hand onto the battlefield. That's fun.
Yeah.
Little silly, but it's kind of fun.
That's an exhaust ability I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dump a lot of things out like a Colossification. Pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Sherman.
Regal Imperiosor for 1 double green. Creature dinosaur. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1, and it's a 5/4. That's it.
Yeah. Again.
Anthem for dinosaurs?
Yeah, like I said,
5/4?
The pushed powers in this set are a little concerning to me. A 5/4/3 even vanilla is good.
Yeah. But like 3 mana 5/4 that Anthem.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Next up here, we've got Repurposing Bay. 2 and a blue for an artifact. You can pay 2 and tap to sacrifice another artifact. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed mana or artifact's mana value. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah.
I mean,
Birthing Pod for artifacts, yeah.
We know how Birthing Pod and what's her name work.
Yeah. What is her name?
Oh, you know.
The Simic Wizard.
Yeah.
Birthing Pod Commander 2. Slothy will find it. I'll read River Churn Monument. 1 and a blue. Pay 1, tap any number of target players, each mills 2 cards. That's fun. Exhaust 2, double tap any number of target players, each mills cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. I like that as well.
That's a fun card.
It's
I like that as well.
It's kind of nice because in like in your Muldrotha theme decks, right? You pay 1, essentially draw 2 with an ability like this, as well as like doubling the cards in your graveyard. It's good for it's solid mill.
Yeah.
And
the
if
card
you have someone that's doing graveyard shenanigans, if they have a lot there, you can like try to force them to mill them out or whatnot, or help them depending on it using the exhaust mechanic. And it's only 4 mana to do that. So that's not bad.
Yeah. The card we were talking about is Prime Speaker Vanifar.
That's the one, Vanifar. Yes,
that's the one. We got a land here.
I was gonna say I like these arts on this land, like the Into Another World views.
Yeah. So we got a River Pyre Verge. So tap for a red, and you can tap it for a blue, but you can only activate it if you control an island or a mountain.
A very solid land cycle.
Yeah, I do like that.
I like this version of a duel. In its worst case, it's still just like the red.
Yeah.
Sherman, take this next one too.
All right. So this is the one I keep on talking about. It's Samut, the driving force, for 3 red, green, and a white. So 6 mana total. Legendary creature, human warrior cleric. 4/5. First strike, vigilance, haste. It has start your engines. Now, other creatures you control get +X+0, where X is your speed. So when it comes out, it's already a +1/+0. Non-creature spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is your speed. That's so crazy dope.
That's very playable.
Yeah.
I don't mind that one. Honestly, it would make a good Planeswalker commander.
The fact that... Sorry, like I just want to go back. Like, I think this is what they should have done with the speed mechanic, where you get incremental things. Yeah, but anyways,
no, that's a great card. Very, very playable.
Next one we've got here is Seed of Armor, Masked Racer, green and blue for a 2/3 legendary human rogue. Exhaust for X, green, blue. Put X +1/+1 counters on Seed of Armor. Then you may have the base power and toughness of each other creature you control become equal to Seed of Armor's power until end of turn.
Seems like not a bad finisher in a deck.
Yeah, it's if you've got a bunch of mana, you can just stomp over people.
Yeah. Well, again, even if you just put like the base, like just 1 into it, the turning everything into 3/3s is not bad for token decks.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Sky Seer's Chariot, 1 and a white for a 3/3 vehicle. As it enters, choose an online card name, activate abilities of the source of the chosen name, cost 2 more to activate, and crew 2. I got nothing to say about it.
I see this, I'm just like, sorry?
It's just, I'm just like, it's okay.
My mind, for some reason, just wanted to replace the birds they have here with Kaikar.
That's funny. Kaikar or Kefnet, that's funny.
That would be so much fun. Because, like, the alternate art for Kaikar in Bloomborough, he was like a crane, right? So, anyways.
Get a Nadu version?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right, we got a spectacular pile up.
That's one of the other ones, yeah.
Okay. We got a Sunbillow Verge. It's another land. You tap for a white, or you can tap it for a red, and you can activate it only if you control mountains or plains.
Again, I love this land cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
And I like the art.
You've got Thopter Fabricator, 2 in a blue for a 4/4 vehicle with flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying and crew 2.
Very solid.
I like that.
Yeah. I got nothing bad to say about that one.
Yeah.
We have Unstoppable Plan. 2 and a blue. Enchantment at the beginning of your end step, untap all non-land permanents you control. Which is interesting with Jace back.
Strong.
My
goodness.
Yeah, I'm glad I got this one. Very strong card. Sherman, please, by all means, try and pronounce this.
I will not. Vinwit, Verbose Host, 1 in a blue. Legendary creature Homunculus, 0/4. Start your engine. You have no max hand size, max speed. If you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead.
Honestly, Rego Bait.
Yeah.
It's a 0 mana thing I can attack people with. No max hand size is great and doubles my draw. Yeah. I actually need, to be honest, like 9 copies of that for Rego. And it looks pretty silly.
Yeah, it does.
Next up, we've got the Voyager Glide car. Single white for a vehicle. It's a 2/3. When this vehicle enters scry 1, tap 3 other untapped creatures you control. Until end of turn, this vehicle becomes an artifact creature and gains flying. Put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it has crew 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Love that full art for the next one.
True. I think this is you again, Sherman. I'll take the land. Wastewood Verge is the Golgari version of this land cycle. So you can tap for black only if you have a swamp or forest, otherwise just a green. Again, I like it. I like all the artworks.
Right, we got the Waxen Shape Thief. For 3 and a blue, creature shapeshifter, 0/0 flash. You may have this creature enter as a copy of an artifact or creature you control, and also has a cycle of 2.
Yeah, generic body double.
Yeah.
Web Strike Elite. Double green for a 3/3 insect archer with reach. Cycling X double green. When you cycle this card, disrupt 1 target artifact or enchantment with mana value X.
I think that's a little weak.
Yeah.
We have the Willow Rush Verge, the Simic version.
Right, we got Winter Cursed Rider for a blue and a black. Legendary creature, human warlock. 3/2. Ward, pay 2 life. Artifacts you control have ward, pay 2 life. Wow. Exhaust. 2 and a blue and a black. Tap, exile X artifact cards from your graveyard. Each other non-artifact creature gets -X until end of turn.
It's a pretty weak exhaust.
But the ward on all your artifacts is kind of strong.
It's definitely good. But just that the having to lose that many artifacts for a one-time shot, it's, I don't know. It seems weak to me.
Yeah. Plus, you're killing off your Winter Cursed Rider as well because he's not an artifact.
No. It'll still live each other non-artifact, but still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Misread that. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Our final rare here is Zahir, Glory's Past. White and a black for a 3/2 legendary zombie cat warrior with start your engines, sacrifice another creature, surveil 1, only activate once each turn. And max speed, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token.
It's a solid max speed if you get to it.
Yeah.
And a sack outlet built into it. I could see it being okay.
It'd be nice if it was whenever a non-token creature was put into a graveyard, because then surveilling would trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess sacrifice another creature does it too.
But again, still, the fact that you can't sacrifice the zombies you create is a bit of a bummer. Because you're already limited to once each turn, right? So
yeah.
It's okay. I did want to go through some of these other ones because there are some what is it? There's some legendary creatures in the uncommon slot, I believe. Yeah, so we have Kelorna, Coral Tyrant, a 0/8 for 1 and a blue. Just vanilla.
Rego bait.
Yeah, Rego bait for sure. I do like a big 0/8 octopus. We have a few pilots where I thought there was a few more. I'm just scrolling here. If there's other things you guys see that you want to talk about as well. I do like the art on this Fang Druid Summoner. 3 and a green for a 2/4 ape
in
druid.
the case. Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry. Repeat what you were saying, Daniel.
I said so. Fang Druid Summoner was another one I liked. It's 3 and a green for a 2/4 ape druid. When it enters, you may search your library or graveyard for a creature with no abilities. Reveal or put into your hand. If you do, shuffle. I think that's kind of silly.
There's quite a few legendary creatures in the uncommon and common slot that are just vanilla.
Yeah.
So if you go to the case, we have 2 of them. We have one in K and one in the L. So.
Okay. I'm just.
We have a.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kalakision, Hunger's Tyrant, or something like that. 1 double black. Legendary creature, Crocodile. Once again, it's just a vanilla 7/2.
Yeah.
But the other one is Gorin, Soul of Lacria. So for a green and a white, it's a 1/1 legendary creature beast mount. So flying, when it attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target mounts and or vehicles and have saddle of 1. Not bad.
That's not horrible.
Yeah.
The Marauding Mako's so silly artwork. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. That's pretty fun, and I love these shark pirates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scrolling through trying to find the rest of them.
Oh, this is a bit of a side note, but on the Voyager glide car, the flavor text is a bunch of binary.
Okay.
Means
fly. Yeah, I saw that. Sorry, what does it mean?
Fly.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the other legends. I thought there was more. Or am I crazy? Oh, there's Tarion the World Tyrant, a 2 triple green, 9/7 dinosaur ooze. It's a legendary. There's also Sundial, Dawn Tyrant, 1 and a white for a vanilla 3/3 artifact construct, which is kind of cool.
Tyrox, Sordid Tyrant, is a 1 and a red 4/1 vanilla.
I do think these little legendaries in the common and uncommon slots are always pretty fun.
Ooh, Wretched Doll is a solid card.
Yeah.
1 and a black for a 3/1 artifact creature toy with pay black and tap to surveil 1.
Yeah, that's definitely not too bad. This Bestow Greatness is such a silly looking artwork. Target creature gets 4/4 and trample. Giant dog. They have another cycle. Oh no, that's the normal, just Blossoming Sands. So another set of tap duel potential in here. Your dismal backwater with new ones.
We should just each of us should take one of these legendary vanilla creatures and just make a deck of it and see what happens.
I think it'd be fun. Seal Pirate.
Because like you don't know what the strategy is until someone starts playing the cards.
Yeah, true. There's
really quickly, as much as I hate these yellow ones, I would love to just fully fit out a deck in this silly frog art of the island. A lot of support for pirates in these other like sections.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any common legends, or am I just scrolling for nothing here?
I didn't see any common legends, but there is a hull drifter.
Take it away.
I am just finding it again because I was looking at that Frog Island. There we go. Hull Drifter, 3 double blue for a 3/2 vehicle with flying. When it enters, draw 2 cards, crew 3.
I like that. I have a challenge for you guys going on to Sherman's that he was talking about. I think I'll ask one of the Rogues Passage people to participate in this. But let's all pick like Sherman said, let's pick a uncommon legend, right? Let's build it, and the game we play, we'll do a stream game of it. The game we play, whoever's deck is the most budget goes first.
Sure.
Goes first and gets a 5 life bonus, I say.
Just out of all these uncommon ones?
Yeah.
Or the vanilla ones, sorry?
Yeah, out of these vanilla creatures, out of the tyrants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would you like?
We should let the rogues pick first. They would be the guests. We should let them pick first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Kay. I like this. Yeah, like I said, the 5 extra life bonus, and you get the start for whoever has the most budget. We like this?
I'm down.
Awesome. I'm fine with that.
Sweet. Okay, well, I really quickly, I guess I was gonna say we've gone a little long, but what's another 30 seconds? Your thoughts on the set, Slothy?
I'm kind of torn. There are some cards that I really, really enjoy. Some examples of the exhaust and start your engines mechanics that I really enjoy. But there's also a lot of things I don't like.
That's fair.
It feels very much like they're just relying on these gimmick sets now, and that kind of hurts. Because you had like Markov Manor was the first set last year.
Mm-hmm.
Outlaws, which was cowboy theme. All these theme sets, and the luster of all these interesting and unique ideas is really wearing off, especially if we're getting half of the sets this year being Universes Beyond.
Yeah, it's Universe Beyond,
real tired of these gimmicks.
I sincerely miss block sets where we had like a story play out.
Yeah, 100%. Three main sets a year, all on the same plane, all following one story. It's cohesive. It makes sense. It's not whiplashing people from set to set where there's a completely different thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
fair.
Overall, I give it about a 5 out of 10.
All right. Sherman, your thoughts?
So, I think a lot of people are either going to have mixed feelings for it or just going to hate the set overall. Like I say, for anyone that wants to get into this, stick with the commander sets or commander decks. I'm seriously gonna try to do or make a deck of playing around with max speed or start your engines at max speed, just see what it's like. But at the same time, like I feel that they're gonna have to revisit it, and next time we see it, it's probably gonna be like in 2 to 3 years at this point in time. So until then, it's kind of like, it is what it is. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed with the set, though. Like, the fact that they want to do like a race and everything, going through like the different planes and everything. Okay, I think that's kind of cool, but at the same time, like it once again, it just doesn't feel like it's Magic, right?
Mhm.
So like yeah, like the only other way I can see them doing this max speed stuff again is if they go back to like Bloomborough and they do like a like a boxcar race, on the other guys or something like that. I don't know, like I would agree with Slothy, like 5 out of 10 overall. Like I don't care much for the set, so I want to give it a chance, but it's really, really, really hard.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I did just find a card that makes the exhaust mechanic way better.
Sure.
Elvish Refueler. It's an uncommon, 2 and a green for a 2/3 elf druid. During your turn, as long as you haven't activated an unexhaust ability this turn, you may activate exhaust abilities as though they have not been activated.
Oh, there you go. That's not bad.
Yep.
All right, it's not horrible, but again,
still
a big workaround.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I have a generational hatred for this set. It's hatred that will echo through my bloodline. I don't like it. There's the fun thing about this is that I have to spend like $13 on this set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's mostly Rego bait for me. I think I took a picture of like 3 cards that I want. It's I might get this really, really dumb Mimeoplasm artwork. It's just it's really fun. It's really funny. But yeah, like this one again, not every set's for every person. This one's not really for me. I can maybe see myself building the silly frog deck because it's just a silly looking frog. Yeah, that's pretty much not much stuff I'd build from it myself. There's definitely some cool cards, and there's a lot of there's some interesting things I want for like Rego decks. The Captain Howler's pretty fun, like the shark. I gotta say I do like that one. But overall, this set again, I'm not really the vehicles player of our group in general, right? So I do like that Gaunty though. That artwork goes hard.
Yeah.
There, like I said, there's a few cards that I snap some pictures of that I'll build, but mostly like this isn't a set I will buy. I will pick up, especially if they're cheap. A bunch of these lands. They're a very nice set. I like the art on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just most of the cards aren't really for me. It's interesting to see how they'll play out, but I do want one of this unpronounceable verbose host things though.
Verbose host?
Yeah, the Winst, the homunculus.
Oh, whatever starts with V, Vinwith, or something like that. Vinwix.
Yeah.
Verbose host, whatever.
Yeah. V-Dog. That's the name. Okay, well, I will I'll see like I said, I'll see if Tanner or Brady wants to build that, or maybe Emery, but I like that. And like I said, well, maybe we should make the prize for the best budget better than just first turn, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
We'll figure it out. I'm down for it though. You guys know me.
You know what?
Anything goes, right?
You get an extra draw as well. You start.
Wow.
You start.
No, how about this? How about this? If that's the case, whoever has the lowest budget gets to be the monarch.
Ooh, love it. Okay, so you're monarch and you're first. I like that.
Yeah.
You're the budget king.
The monarch and immediately is awesome.
Yeah, you're the budget king. I like that. All right. Okay, I roll it. That's it. It's thank you guys for getting through this with us. This is a long one, and I'm sure everyone diligently listened to the end. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. It really does help out. I promise, if this is the first episode you've heard of us, we don't usually hate this hard. You gotta believe me. You gotta trust we're positive people normally. Like, share, subscribe. It does really help people find us, and like it makes us so we can do more things. As more people see us, we can upgrade what we're doing. If you want to go above and beyond that, support us on Patreon. It's a great spot to come and build decks and normally talk excitedly about new cards. So that's a different one. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for listening, getting through. If you want any of these cards, if you want to go buy these fancy foil jeweled lotuses, or not jeweled lotuses, lotus whatever radiant, go over to houseofcards.ca and smash that promo code in, IT99. It's going to give you a discount on the cards. They're going to be fast with the shipping, and you'll be the talk of your playgroup as you sacrifice your treasure tokens for black lotus-like effects. AI armor sleeves for any of the other stuff that you're getting, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, we roll, we start our engines and get out of here. Yeah, that's it. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
All right, laters.